Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 93. Guys, you all know Alex. On today's episode, we're going to be previewing the Barcelona versus Valencia game. Barcelona is going to be finally back at the camp now after a couple games away from home. Manchester United, Almeria, and Real Madrid in the Bernabeu. Guys, remember on Twitter, I post a link at Kool-Aid Podcast 10. Just click on the link and then you'll be able to join and basically give your thoughts on into the discussion and everything. You know the drill, guys. But as I said on today's episode, we're going to be giving you the Barcelona versus Valencia preview. I'm going into this game feeling very confident. Barcelona, after beating Real Madrid in the Bernabeu, they got the 1-0 win, and that gave the team a huge boost in confidence. Barcelona now are going into this Valencia game without Gavi or Xavi. We have to keep that in mind. Christensen is going to be back, but Barcelona now go into this game with a 7-point lead. It wasn't 10 how we wanted to last week. This is how the table is looking at the moment. As you guys can see, Barcelona is with 59 points, Real Madrid with 52. Valencia are down in the 19th spot. They're not having a fantastic season. They're having some trouble with their owners, and they're having some turmoil in the club. And a team of Valencia's stature should not be down fighting relegation. They're in 23 points. The team fighting with relegation, it always makes it difficult. But Alex, introduce what are your thoughts? How are you feeling ahead of this game? Talk to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely what you're saying is true. We've had a huge boost in confidence surrounding, the current form that we were in, and considering all the players that we have been missing
Yeah,
with injury. And I think it couldn't have come at a better time, given that we need a bounce back from, last week. Losing points against Almeria was a bunch of nonsense. And I think we're in the right spot to come back from this and to keep on with the title charge. I just think it's obviously not easy. We're still missing key players. We're still missing players like Pedri, Dembele.
yeah,
Uh, so it's no easy feat by any means. It's just I think we got to lock in and of course think of it in the long run because it's going to be a very busy long month. There's going to be a lot of games, a lot of games against Madrid.
yeah,
So with that being said, we have to go with the mentality that we're gonna win and that we need to win. Right? There's no
yeah,
excuse. And we saw we're missing key players against Madrid and we won. There's no excuse
yeah.
for us using bench players or not using our starters for whatever the reason be. So we just gotta go there and win. We gotta have the desire to win, and it comes down
And
to
yeah, exactly. Guys, this is a squad list for that Valencia game. As you can see, no Gavi, um, no Lewandowski either, no Pedri, no Usman Dembele, but big players who are missing. And we're also not gonna have Xavi. And so this leads into some questions
wait.
into
You
the
said I'm sorry. You said we're not gonna have Xavi.
yeah. Xavi has been suspended. He's not gonna be in the touchline.
Oh, that's true. I
Yeah,
was a little confused. Yeah, that's true.
yeah. No, you imagine Xavi just like put on the with the kid. That'd be crazy. No, but yeah. So we are missing some key players, but as you said, um, Barcelona should go into that Valencia game feeling their strongest 11, and that brings us to the starting 11. This is how I think Barcelona's going to line up. I think it's pretty straightforward. I think Ansu Fati should be the one to replace Gavi in the starting 11. Barcelona is going to be playing at home. It's not going to be the same approach. We're not going to be taking the same approach as we did against Madrid, just because Valencia they're going to be happy with the draw. They're going to be happy because they're fighting the relegation. Every point is extremely vital for their survival in the top tier of Spanish football. And so Barcelona are going to need to go at the game. They're going to have to score first because if we score first, that means Valencia are going to have to come at us. We don't want to keep the game very tight, have them defend in low block, and just hit us on the counter. We don't want that. And if Valencia do try to play that game, we need our starting defense, where we have players who are very good in the transitions. Even though Marcos Alonso, for example, he played very well against Real Madrid, he is a player who lacks pace. And so in those games where he has to cover lots of ground, it's not his forte. and you saw against Madrid, he defended very well. But that was because we were playing like a very little block. All he had to do was just like clear the balls that were coming in his area. Um, but we played to his strengths. And in this game, we are not going to be playing to his strengths. And so this is why I would start we would start back. We would start Balde, Christensen, Araujo, and Gunde. Um, would you go with the same back line, or would you make any rotations?
No, for sure. I think there's a lot riding on this game, like we said.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand the whole concept of rotating players and resting them for obvious reasons, right? You got to rest your players too, but I don't think this is a game where we got to do it. I think we desperately need a win, and this is the best backline we have, and this is one of the best backlines in Europe. So
Definitely. I mean, you saw that we went to see 8 goals. I think a couple of them were actually own goals. But now I think that midfield just starts. I don't think we have any other options. Now in the attack, it's very interesting how attack is going to work, because this attack is a very mobile attack. These players can play in any one of these 3 positions. Ferran Torres, he can be switching with Rafinha. He can be switching with Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati can be coming into play as a striker. Ferran Torres going out wide. What I would like to see that interplay, that change of positions in that game, just basically make it very difficult for Valencia defenders just to understand what Barcelona is trying to do in attack. And it's very good to have that flexibility, because Valencia is going to be defending the blocks, defending deep. And I don't know if this is like the type of game where you would want to invite Valencia onto you, because for example, having a team defend and have that low block, it's much better, for example, if you let them attack you a little bit and just have them come out of that shape, and then you hit on the counter with that open space, because we have some very fast players we can do it. And this game, Ansu Fati is going to need that confidence, because he's a player who, for example, that we saw against Real Madrid, he didn't have the best of games. He blocked the 2-0, which would have put him in a fantastic position for that second leg. But this is a game where he needs to basically recover that confidence.
mhm,
Yeah.
for sure. And what you've been saying is true. Well, the midfield is the best we have so far, and I think it's a solid midfield regardless. Um, but what you said about the attack is another thing that I find very attractive about it, and it's the versatility that it has.
Yeah.
Um, how versatile it is, how much you can change players around it. It's just, and I think it's a very fluid attack, because they're all players that have good passing, they have good build up play, and we have very intelligent players like Ferran Torres, Ansu Fati, Rafinha. They all have, I would say, fairly high football IQs, and I think it's the right way to go. And what you're saying is true. I don't think we should be letting Valencia come to us. They're a team that will gladly do it, and they'll most likely bring on the pressure from early on.
Yeah.
So I think we have to, assert the dominance from the beginning and try to score early or try to just
Yeah.
generate chances early. And that's definitely the way to go in my view.
If we get that early goal, it's gonna be very hard for Valencia to defend in that low block for the entire game, just because um you can't defend like a 1-0 lead. Like, well, hey, we'll gladly take that, but it doesn't suit their game, and they're in vital need of points. Um,
Exactly.
but Alex, but before we round off the episode, match predictions. Match predictions. How do you think the
Yeah,
game's
so
gonna end?
I'm gonna go for 2-0 Barca, and I think the
2-0
goals.
Barca.
Yeah, I think we're gonna win 2-0, and I think excuse me, I think the goal scorers are gonna be Ferran Torres and Rafinha.
Fernando Torres and Rafinha. Okay. Um, you know what? I'm gonna go for the exact same scoreline. I'm gonna go for 2-0, but instead of Fernando Torres and Rafinha, I'm gonna go for Kessie to get back on the score sheet. Well, to get on the score sheet. And I'm going to go with Ansu Fati. I think Ansu Fati is going to take advantage. Hopefully, he takes advantage of these minutes, because he desperately needs it. And hopefully, we'll come back with the game with a much needed win, and basically just put on the pressure on Real Madrid, because they actually play after us. We have the early kickoff at 10:15 p.m. Eastern time, 10:15 Eastern time, and they're going to be playing later against Real Betis away from home, and that's a very tough game. If we can put on the pressure and they drop points, we can be looking at a very nice lead. But guys, that was it for tonight's episode. It was a quick preview. It's just a normal La Liga game. Hopefully, we can come back tomorrow with our post-match reaction to a very good result. But as always, guys, leave a comment, like, subscribing, and do all that. Go on Twitter if you guys want to basically come and add to the discussion. But we'll see you guys all on the next episode. Peace out, guys.